Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, November 10th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this would be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, we are looking at BKYI. Big mover today and now a good solid pattern here. So let's get this drawn into play. So top part of the pattern we have here, there we go, is this trend line right there. And then bottom part of the pattern right here, the area of support, right there at that level. Change that to green to represent support. And then just to make it easier to see, let's keep it all one color. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the nice upwards move right there. And then for you golfers out there, try to make it a little bit more visual. Put the golf hole down here. And this would be a bull pennant pattern. Now let me be very clear. Just because this is a bullish pattern does not mean that for sure guaranteed that thing's going to come up here and then break and then get a good solid move. My point here is this. Is it at least a valid question to throw out there as a possibility? Absolutely. Again, that doesn't mean it's guaranteed to happen, but then it makes it a plausible scenario. So if you like bull pennant patterns, you like this price range down below the $2 mark, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, SOXS, and we have ourselves a kind of a tricky situation. I should more so say I have myself a tricky situation from a presentation standpoint because there's a lot of perspective that goes into it. If you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, and you're buying up around here and your plan was to buy and sell within 20 minutes, well then yes, from that standpoint, the chart looks really bad because there was a bigger pullback here. Now, if you care about the big picture standpoint, then overall, even with the pullback, everything is still perfectly fine because if you look at where the lows were at today, so let's just change this to green here for support and then look at that low. And I'm not saying it'll do this again, but let's say the price comes down and touches this area again and then does something like this. Now, emphasis here on big picture. From the big picture standpoint, what do you have? Well, you have a set of lows right there. You have lows there. You have lows down there. And if you envision each of those as stair-steps, what do you have? Well, from the big picture standpoint, you have stair-steps making progress in the upwards direction. And that's what it's all about. That is where the overall chart is still plenty in the upwards direction. Again, I'm well aware. If you're a day trader that bought right here, you really don't care about these stair steps. So that's why I'm trying to make the distinction between more so a bigger picture perspective and then more of a day trading standpoint. So overall, the chart is doing just fine and it still has plenty of opportunity to build a higher base. So yes, moving forward right here at around $3.70. I'm not going to call it a do or die level of support, but certainly very important so that the price can ensure it builds a higher base. Next one here, RUBI, and I'm going to go through this one a little quicker because you've already heard me talk about this and I want to respect your time as much as possible. But we have, again, another one of these bull pennant patterns. So there's our area of resistance. There's our area of support. And then just to make it easier to see, let's keep it the same color. So we have our resistance. We have our support. We have the big explosive move right here. We have the golf hole down here. So here we are looking at another bull pennant pattern. I'd say the biggest difference here is that this one just happens to be a penny stock. So if you prefer penny stocks, but you do like bull pennant patterns, then here you go. Next one, OPEN. Very, very impressive move today. When you stop and think about the fact that the price gapped all the way down here, was at that level, and then bounced all the way up there. No doubt about it. Very, very impressive move. So not just a question of can the price continue to show some signs of progress moving forward. Whereas why I would say this level, again, I don't want to say do or die, but important for the price to now stay up above that $6 mark. Because if the price were to come down here and then break down below it, at that point, the further it drops below, the further and further the price goes to just starting, well, right back to where it was. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make great moves and then go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine strength. Again, nothing can go straight up. But if the price comes down here and does something like that, well, then at least at that point in time, you'd still have the situation where you could say, well, there's a low right there, a low right there, and then you still have stair steps making progress. So for those reasons, I'd say $6, important area of support. In terms of areas of resistance, main battleground to watch now moving forward, it's going to be that purple line there, that 50 period moving average initially, currently valued at $6.86. But no doubt about it, very nice bounce. Now let's see if the price can make progress. And again, progress being defined as staying up above that $6 mark. Next one here, NVDA, and just like we talked about on open, this thing started off pretty bad, gap down, bled all the way right there to that low, and then from there, got to give credit where credit's due. Very nice bounce, but it leads to that same question. Yeah, nice bounce, but is there any sort of genuine strength behind it? So on that note, we got to figure out, well, can it show some signs of progress, which leads to, okay, well, how are you defining quote-unquote progress? And in my mind, that's right here at the 182 mark. So if the price comes down here, does not hold above it, and keeps on going, well, as we just discussed on the previous one, that would be putting the price right back to where it started. And again, not exactly a sign of genuine strength. Whereas on the flip side of things, if the price comes down here, behaves like that, and then curls back upwards, well, at least at that point, you could say that there has been a higher low that's put into place. So in terms of the progress point, that is where 182 is important. In regards to areas of resistance, main battleground to watch from that angle initially, going to be right here at the high of those areas, right around the 190.75 mark. But like I said, anyway, look at it. Very impressive recovery from those lows. So now it's just a question of, can the price show signs of progress? We'll see how it plays out next week. Real quick, want to take a break and help you solve a very common problem that maybe pertains to you, and that is the desire to be a day trader. And I'm defining day trader as being able to have as many day trades as you want every single day, but you can't because you don't meet that pattern day trader rule requirements. Well, please realize there is a market out there that you can become a day trader for very small amounts of money and enter into a market that, quite frankly, trades way better than the stock market does anyways. I know all this can sound a little too good to be true. What's the catch? Totally understand, which is why I'm inviting you to come check out my live stream. I live stream every day starting at 11 a.m. Eastern, and then I go for a few hours, and you can see this all with your very own eyes and ask me any questions that you may have. So I get it if it sounds too good to be true, but like I said, come check it out. But just please realize you do not have to put up with that stupid pattern day trading rule. Next one, MSGM, and we have ourselves a pretty well-defined breakout point going into next week. So you got to think that everybody and their brother's uncle has connected those 2 points. So everybody will be watching that level. So while that doesn't guarantee anything per se, it does make it very valid to think that if the price were to come up here and break up through there, that break could create additional buying pressure. So again, guarantee, absolutely not. Valid question, absolutely. So keep an eye on that from the resistance and breakout side of things. In terms of areas of support, no need to overcomplicate this. Just really a question of, where did the pullback finally stop today? And that was right down there at the 318 mark. So like I said, no fancy logic other than that's just where the price stopped going down. So keep a close eye on 318 going forward if the price pulls back. But yeah, in my opinion, at least the most interesting dynamic, all about this resistance level. So we'll see if the price can get the break up through there or not. Next one here, ACHR. And I'm going to go through this quickly because you've already heard me talk about it and the same general idea. But yes, gap, nasty gap down, nasty move. Price hit a low right there. And then to give credit's due, very impressive bounce. So is this a truly strong bounce? Well, let's figure out where a good progress point would be made. And that is, in my opinion, right here at that level of 755. So if the price comes down here, as long as it can stay above there, then you can make a very clean-cut argument that you have a set of lows right here. You have those lows right there, and then you can still have the stair-steps making progress in the upwards direction. So for that reason, 755 I would consider an important area of support. In terms of areas of resistance, main battleground to watch now at this point is essentially that gap close location, sitting right up there about 885. Remember, gaps do not have to close. Nothing has to happen in the markets, or that would imply there's a guarantee. And there is no such thing as a guarantee, but with a very nice bounce here, it does put it within the realm of reason that maybe the price can get up there and close that gap at 885. But in my opinion, most important dynamic right now is all about just showing progress and building those higher bases. Next one here, ONDS. So let's go through this a little quickly here because you've heard me talk about this pattern. Now this one looks, I suppose, a little different, but still generally the same idea here. And that is, we do have this bull pennant pattern. So just because I can't help myself, let's keep it all the same color. So there is our area of resistance, our area of support, the impressive move up this afternoon, the golf hole down here. So here we are looking at a nice bull pennant pattern headed into next week. So can the price push up here, get the nice break, find some momentum? That is certainly a very valid question to keep an eye on, especially if you like this price range. Next one here, ORGO. Interesting situation. Nice gap up. Very nice move after the gap up. And then this is where things get a little sketchy as the price had a nasty pullback. But then this is where things once again get interesting because there was a recovery. And then after the recovery, the price has now just gone sideways in this nice little consolidation range. So while that does not guarantee anything, as I've said a million times, and we'll probably say a million more times, it does certainly make it very interesting to think, okay, maybe all this, kind of up and down is done. Maybe this thing is just consolidating out before getting ready for another push in the upwards direction. So very, very kind of all over the place type of day. But with the late afternoon and the drop off in volume, and that's what you want to see as any volume analysis, will tell you during consolidation and pullbacks and sideways action, you want to see volume drop off compared to the bigger type of movements, which is what we had over here. So from all angles, very, very interesting situation. Again, nothing guaranteed, but certainly if you like these situations where you get a good momentum, a pullback, and then you get some nice little consolidation, this one seems to fit all those requirements. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and rough day on this one as the price has come down below this area of support at 442. I talked about that previously. So that is where the first update comes into play, and that update just based on a foundation rule which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So if there is any sort of attempted move up, and to be fair, it's not the greatest looking uptrend, but there's a bit of an uptrend right here. But if that continues, then yes, the key battleground to watch right now will be at that 442 mark, the current value of that area right there. And then you also have these moving averages up above, but one hurdle at a time. That first key hurdle will, like I said, be 442. And as far as levels of support, no need to overcomplicate this, some very basic logic. Where did the bleeding finally stop today? That was essentially down here right around 423.65. Sure, the price went down below there a little bit right there, but you can see right there directly off it, basically directly off it, basically directly off it. So 423.65 going to be a key level where if the price cannot hold above that, then that is, as you can see in here, that would be putting the price down at the threat of potentially going down and then visiting this area of support down there at the 414 mark. But like I said, don't want to get too far ahead of yourselves because so far so good. 423.65 has been holding. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you are sick and tired of the pattern day trend rule or just want a market that offers mass flexibility, open pretty much around the clock, gives you access to things that move way better than penny stocks and low floats and small caps anyways, then definitely check out what I've been doing and you will be pleasantly surprised. I'm actually very confident in that, which is why I'm just saying, come swing by the live stream. Don't trust me. Come watch it with your very own eyes and ask me any questions that you may have. But there is no need to put up with a lot of the rules that used to matter, but there's, the market is always evolving and getting better. And this is definitely, from a day trading standpoint, the best strategy to go about the market, what I've been doing. So hopefully I'll see you on the live stream. So thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like button and everybody have a great weekend.